Welcome to SATO48, the TV show. SATO48 stands for Springfield and the Ozarks 48-Hour Film Challenge, where teams of filmmakers have 48 hours, just 2 days, to make a 5-minute movie. The twist? They don't know what that movie has to be about until it's revealed to them in the form of an inspiration package! Today on SATO48, the TV show, we meet director, writer, producer, and on-camera TV personality Kaitlyn Schumacher. Kaitlyn has participated in the SATO48 challenge for 10 years. She deliberately uses the opportunity to try new approaches to a variety of genres and production skills. So, it's not surprising her work has been recognized for everything from its graphic design to its quirky storylines. The short we're sharing with you today is her thriller. It's called Taken, and by it you will be. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, Stephanie here on Haunted History, and today we are going to be looking for the Lost Book of Andersen. But before we get to our story, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with all our haunted history. Now, the Lost Book of Andersen is the last known possession of Dawn Andersen, who was mysteriously murdered in 2005. Now, every person who is known to possess this book has mysteriously gone missing, including Maria Morley, Caleb Willey, Michael Edwards, Emily Pitts, Morgan Brown, and the most recent owner, Caitlin Taylor. Now, there's a lot of theories going around about this book, including aliens, witchcraft, and ghosts. But today, we are going to go to the last place Caitlin was seen, so we can maybe uncover the mystery of the Lost Book of Andersen. Alright guys, I am about to turn in to the greenhouse where Caitlin was last seen and police found her car. So if I can get my camera turned around here, you can see it.
Kaitlyn Schumacher.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Director, producer, writer, Cutting Edge Productions.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's glad to be here.
What a thrill. 10 years of SATO48. Take us way back, though. What was your first, what is SATO48?
Yeah, so it all started, I was a student at OTC. I think I was in just my first year of media classes there, and you guys came in and did a presentation on SATO48, and the teachers.
Was that pretty amazing?
It was. It was very memorable. So,
thank you.
I mean, I've been here for 10 years.
That's right.
But no, you guys came in and did a presentation, and I was like, this sounds like it would be a good opportunity. I was just kind of, biting my teeth into doing film and learning the industry. And so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. So I actually started with a different team and just was on their production crew and saw how that worked. The next year, they didn't want to do it. So then I started my own team.
This other team that you were on,
Yeah.
How did they do?
It was good. On the whole, I think the product was good. We had a little too many people on the team. I think that was probably the lesson I learned from that is that more is more, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes you just have too much to work with.
I'm going to pause you right there. Don't go away. Don't you pause. You watch this commercial, and we'll be right back. I mean it. You watch it.
We love SATO!
You know the American Indian phrase, if you want to go far, go with others. If you want to go fast, go alone.
Well, there you go. Yes, that can be true. I've seen that happen. So yeah, so it was good on the whole, and everything went well. Except the thing was we just all were college kids, and people went their different directions. So I started Cutting Edge Productions the second year, and Cutting Edge Productions has competed for the last 10 years. Yeah. So I guess technically this is my 11th year.
Oh wow!
Of SATO.
Wow, math is not your forte.
No, it is not. That's why I'm in the arts.
How many breaths does an average human take in a day?
23,000.
Did you count them one day?
Yes.
Then we did Fiesta. That was an embarrassment. That was my very first film, and I don't ever want it to see the light of day, which means you all are probably going to show it.
Well, certainly clips.
Oh, come on, Aaron. It's just a Fiesta theme. How bad could it be?
Now remember, you're responsible for anything that happens in there.
Wait,
Hola, welcome to our fiesta.
¿Cómo estás?
So why a disaster? I mean,
Yeah. You can just tell I had no idea what I was doing.
Was there
The
a
writing
story?
was cheesy.
Okay.
Oh, it's so cheesy.
now that we're engaged, I think it's important that I get to know your family better.
But even I don't want to get to know my family better.
It's embarrassing. It's like Hallmark, but like Hallmark on crack.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's so bad.
That is bad.
Aaron, I made you a hot dog because you don't like fajitas.
That wasn't that nice of her.
It's whatever. Where are the buns at? Stephanie, necesito el baño?
Sure, down the hall to the right.
You just asked for the bathroom.
The next year, I got some other people together. I got Morgan, who is my editor. I got another friend who has gone on to work on, documentaries and do amazing things as well. He was a fantastic cinematographer, learned a ton from him. And we've just been able to take off from there. And I feel like over the years, we've had good films, we've had bad films, but we've always made it in on time. So
You've always made it in on time.
yes.
You may be one of the few directors who can say that, because a lot of people who have been in it as long as you have, so I guess 10 years, stumbled one year, but the other 9, and I always go, well, tell us about the year you were late. Now I can't ask you that question. How close did you get?
5 seconds, or 15 seconds before deadline. So
You're
we
kidding.
did have one year where I believe we were the final team to get in, and we were having trouble exporting. We had shot in 4K, which was a huge mistake with the computing power that we had at the time. And so we shot in 4K, we're exporting, the export crashed and crashed and crashed. And you guys are like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and we're seeing that bar, and it's like, 10%. 5%, 4%, 3%, 1%, and it just gets stuck on 1%, is left to export. You're like, 10 seconds, and it exported. We handed you the flash drive, because that was when we actually had to hand stuff in at that time, and got our thing time-stamped and turned in, and then Morgan and I just passed out for a few minutes. At 15 seconds, it finally exported and we were done. So we got it turned in at 6:51:45. So we barely got in this year. Because it took us so long to export and we had to turn it in immediately, we didn't get to view the video that we turned in before we got to turn it in. So throughout our entire film, the whole thing echoes.
What's going on? What's going on?
So Taken, really dynamic, really scary. I mean, when was that? 2020?
2020, yes, that was our pandemic film.
Your pandemic film, so memorable. I watched it again. It's still scary. It's still creepy. All those great visuals. So where are you in this film? Tell us how it all came about.
Yeah, so that was our pandemic film. So, we were under stay-at-home orders and mask mandates and all these things. So we had to be at home for filming our film. So with the inspiration package, we weren't as restricted that year because you guys were trying to just, I think, make sure people could make it happen because we were on lockdowns, we were on mask mandates, we had social distancing, we had all these things that the world was requiring of us that, that was the inspiration package basically, follow protocol and then, don't make it about the pandemic, I think was kind of the inspiration package.
That's right. I figured I don't want to watch 1,000 movies about toilet paper.
Yes.
Shortages.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like we had a lot of creative freedom with that one. And thankfully, we had access to some locations that would allow us to stick with that protocol as well. And at that time, we were doing more scary-esque films just because that was fun to create. You could do a lot with lighting and shadows and music and stuff like that. So yeah, Taken was a lot of fun for sure, and one of our best films. And I think that's just because we had more freedom to do more with, even though we were under the restrictions of mandates and distancing and all that jazz, we were still able to do a lot creatively. My mom lives out in the country. Her neighbors have these abandoned greenhouses that haven't been used in years. And so we were like, that'll be the perfect set for our film.
Because it's also outside.
It's outside.
So that's
got plenty of space.
Because you know what? We're like, you make a great film, but nobody wants to die because of it.
Right, exactly. We don't want anybody getting sick.
Right.
So yeah, it was outside. We had plenty of space and ventilation and all the things you needed. And then it was just my sister and I. So we could, we were living in the same house at the time anyway. So it was all good. So it's these greenhouses that, like I said, no one's touched in a long time. One of my favorite shots from that film is when Stephanie answers the phone and she pulls it off and there's just the cobwebs that pull off it to show like it hasn't been used in ages. And
how did you get that effect?
Because there was actual cobwebs on it because the phone hadn't been used in ages.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. But it was a really fun film to put together because we had to wait until it got kind of dark outside because the greenhouse has a completely different look whenever it's daytime versus nighttime. It's not near as scary. But then we had to light it, but it didn't have electricity running through it. So we had to buy a portable electric pack to plug the lights into. And so it was a whole thing, but it was fun.
You're making all these discoveries within the 48 hours.
Yes.
So who's going to run to the hardware store and get us this power pack?
Yes, that would be our production moms.
Oh, your production moms. Okay, great. Yeah. And moms is not short for anything. It's moms.
It's our moms.
It's your moms. Okay.
It is our moms who made sure we had a place to stay. If over the course of 10 years, not during 2020, we stayed in our own homes at that time. But all 9 of the other years, they gave us a place to stay. They made sure we were fed. They made sure we had water. If we needed to anybody to run errands, they ran the errands for us, and just made sure we had everything we needed. And I cannot give enough credit to our production moms.
Family is the most important part of us. It's what makes us who we are.
It's the SATO48 version of daycare with shutting off your children to your parents.
Sure.
Okay, great. Look it up. You'll see I'm right.
But no, Taken is definitely one of our best films, and we had an absolute blast putting that one together.
And that was a pretty small cast.
Yes, yeah. It was just my sister and myself and our friend Michael was also
the stalker.
Yes, the stalker. Cool. So, but we tried to include everybody by, the book had been linked to all these different murder cases, and that's how we put everybody on the team into the film.
Nice, because everybody wants.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for watching. We'll be right back.
We love SATO!
A lot of, when you read about creativity, a lot of artists say, the more restrictions, the better. It acts kind of as a crucible for unlocking things that others wouldn't be able to do or wouldn't think to do.
Yeah, I think that can happen. Because it kind of depends. If you have just a blank slate, right? If you're told, do whatever, then it's kind of like, but I can do whatever. Like, I don't know how to narrow that down.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have some restrictions, that kind of helps you form something for sure. So I think you can have too much restrictions, but I also can see where it can be beneficial as well.
I hear you have a missing cat. Thank goodness you're here. Please come inside.
But finding that sweet spot.
It is.
And a lot of filmmakers who take their movies to other festivals and then people find out they only made it in 2 days, I think their eyes are open to how much you really can accomplish in 48 hours.
You really can. The world is your oyster when it comes to that. It just all depends on how much work you're wanting to put in, maybe how much resources you have at your disposal.
Agent Baraya will be taking off in about 15 minutes. Do you need anything to drink?
No, thank you.
Okay.
It can be a lot of fun. So if you've got access to a lot of different things, or if you've got a lot of creative ideas, then you can do anything.
Over the years, you've learned a lot about making media well and quickly.
Yeah.
How has that translated into your professional career, including, I know, some broadcast recognition?
Yeah, so with working on SATO, I think the biggest thing is working on deadline. You know, I've spent a lot of time in news, and the news happens at 6 o'clock or at 10 o'clock or whatever, and you have to hit that deadline, and it's not a minute later. So it's just like SATO, where you can't turn a film in after 49 hours or after 48 hours and 10 seconds. It's got to be in by that 48-hour time period. So I think that's the case.
We don't have much time. Where are you?
Pulling in now.
So you kind of learn not to let perfection be the enemy of good, and to not let your ambitions get the best of you, because then if you don't get it turned in, you don't have a film, you know? So something is better than nothing. So learning to be content with what I've created and not get too nitpicky over it, and then also just learning to get stuff done on deadline, learning how to work on a really tight time frame.
Time is running out.
One of your fellow filmmakers who has also done this many years on other projects, he'll often say, and if there are other people on the team who understand, he'll go, we're going to have to SATO the heck. He doesn't say heck. We're going to have to SATO the heck out of this to just like, get back on schedule and get back on track and finish on time.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, with having the time constriction, it also requires you to be organized. So I think that's one of the things that my team has done really well on, is we developed a system of how we shoot, how we edit, how we get stuff done. And it's really worked well for us, with the exception of that one time where we didn't get it turned in until 15 seconds to deadline.
Right. We're coming up with a plan next year.
We sleep, we eat, we go out to steak afterwards, and you know, we've got a great routine, we've got a system down. So I think organization also is a big component that I've learned from SATO as well.
We're doing great. It's 12:38 and we're done shooting.
An hour and a half. And so I definitely learned how to work under pressure, work under deadline, work with the items that I have, and yeah, it's led to some pretty good things professionally. So.
Great. For example?
So I have been nominated the last 4 years for Missouri Broadcasters Awards. I've won the last 2. So
congratulations.
Possibly 3. We got an awards ceremony to come to, but
Okay,
it's possibly
burn
the last
that
3
incense,
years.
that Hopi incense at home.
Yes, so we'll see. But then I've also had the opportunity to work with you guys for SATO48, the TV show. I got to produce that with you guys the last couple of years,
Yes.
and we got nominated for an Emmy last year.
That's
so
right.
that was
so
pretty
you're
exciting.
Actually my executive producer. How am I doing?
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. I
Job
have.
security.
I'm not going to fire you yet.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'll try to be good.
Okay.
We always ask our filmmakers, would you do SATO48 again? Why or why not? And it can be why not.
Yeah, absolutely. I think SATO48 is a great opportunity to really start to learn. You know, it's a fun competition to be able to, you know, get your hands on some gear, get out there, put a film together. And in my mind, there's no such thing as failure, because even if you don't get a film turned in or it doesn't turn out to be the film you want, you probably learned something from it. So whatever that lesson may be, and then you can take that lesson and apply it to other parts of your life, or apply it to future competitions or to your future professional work. And then, of course, if you do turn in a film and it is successful, then that everybody loves to be successful. And again, you've learned some lessons. You've learned what works and what is good, and you can apply that. And you never know where it's going to lead you. You know, we've had so many people who have done SATO who have gone on and done other things. I've gone on and gone to work at KY3 and done a lot of work with them. I know other people have gone on and got to work on some bigger movies as well, or done commercial work. So you just never know where it's going to lead. But you're never going to get there if you don't take the first step.
We'll be right back. Thanks for watching.
Let's go, SATO48!
Don't worry about what equipment you have. Just make a film. At worst, you're gonna have a blast. Somebody said, well, what if the dad's right?
That's a great line. We go,
See if he has a brother.
Still think I was overreacting?
This won't take long.
20 years ago, when John and I started this, we had no idea any of this would come about. It's really gratifying to hear people getting real work from their SATO48 films and from the relationships and, you know, just the contacts and the collaboration.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been delightful talking with you, and I can't wait to see what happens in 2026. And thank you for being the executive producer of me.
Yeah, well, happy to do so.
Thanks.